So today's topic is resistors. Okay, resistors are electrical components that are used to slow down the current action. In other words, they slow down the current. Okay, they resist the current. Their usage means that they essentially take a portion of that voltage that's supplied by the power supply, whether it be a battery or a DC source. Okay, they take that voltage and reduce it to some amount because by conducting, as they conduct, the current goes through the resistor, it conducts, it uses up some of that voltage. Okay, and there is what we call a voltage drop because of it. So resistors then are used also a way to create voltage division, okay, which is a subject we will go over later on, but they have multiple uses, all right? They basically do a lot of the work that's needed to be done in an electrical circuit because they use up some of that energy. If you use up the voltage, you got running current running through it, then you're using up some energy. Okay, there's certain power associated with doing that. So over time, you're doing some work. Okay, so those are resistors, and they come in different types. All right, there are different ways to manufacture resistors. Okay, but they have limits onto their uses. Okay, they're some of the first things that burn on a circuit. You can always tell when a resistor burns. You get that phenolic smell, okay, which is a burning smell that be caused by a phenolic resin. All right, the plastic starts to burn, and it's a it's a peculiar odor, and you can always tell when you smell that. It says, "Oh, I've burnt the circuit," because probably you used too much current running through it, or there was too much voltage across that circuit, okay, that caused the high current and then the burning action. Because as it uses up that energy, it heats up the resistor. Okay, so I've got a few other YouTubes on today's presentation as well that should be of interest to you. That are all about resistors and how you actually solder resistors onto a PW board or any kind of a board. Okay, how do you do that? There's a skill in actually putting resistors on, soldering them into a board. It's a high skill process, and I think you ought to. I thought you'd find it interesting. And also, if you do any kind of troubleshooting, that's the place to look to see if there is a problem with the solder joint, because there usually is. Bad solder joint leads to an open circuit, okay? And an open circuit then means the circuit is not working, okay? So anyway, let's get started on resistors for today.